When I was younger, I was shy. Not so shy to the outsider looking in, but it was hard for me to speak to people. Hard for me to put myself in social situations. Hard for me to do things that made me uncomfortable. I was not confident. I found that the only way to deal with this issue was to conquer it head on. Besides being shy, what I was curious. Curious about the world, about travel, about exploring history and historical places firsthand. I wanted to travel. Unfortunately, I didn't have a partner to travel with, so if I wanted to see it, I would have to go alone. Easier said than done. I was faced with a question. What am I afraid of that I can actually overcome? I believe everyone should ask that question and work to overcome what is holding them back. In my case, I was afraid to travel alone, but I really didn't want to miss out on experiences. I decided that once again, the only way to deal with it was to conquer it head on. Since I was reading a bunch of historical fiction books about European monarchy at the time, I decided to go to England and France with a tour, but alone. In England, I met my group. Nice people, I guess, but they were interested in partying, and I was really more there for the sights. So day one, I set out alone for Westminster Abbey. Days later, while the group set out for a day of leisure, I went to Hampton Court, home of Henry VIII and his temporary wife, Anne Boleyn, who I had just been reading about. Venturing out on trains and walking with a map proved to be an adventure and more fun than I expected. I met some nice tourists along the way and then enjoyed the history. In France, I decided to do the same. I didn't always like the touristy things my group was doing. I decided to go shopping for jewelry making supplies since jewelry making was a hobby of mine. I got terribly lost, and French is not something I understand at all, but I got through it and felt proud of my accomplishments and thrilled to find the best supplies ever. Plus, I loved wandering around Paris and Monet's gardens. The travel bug certainly bit me, and the next year I went to Israel and traveled around by myself. Speaking of conquering fears, I also tried rappelling down a mountain. That's me on the left. Now I have a family and I don't get to travel all that much, and when I do, it's not alone. I am so proud and happy with the experiences I got to have that I pushed myself to accomplish. Both the fact that I conquered my fear and the trips themselves have changed my life for the better. What can you push yourself to do?